BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is Prophecy Daily with Coach Caren. Coach Caren may be joining us shortly. However, we just wanted to come in and make sure that we keep our commitment to you. So I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from Biz Chicks, and we just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to the conversation. We've been talking about becoming the CEO of your own life. So we want to continue that conversation, and we hope that you'll put your questions or comments on the chat so that we can share them with with the community. So without further
Yes.
ado, let's get started. Hey,
Hey,
before you how you doing, Fran?
I'm doing very well. I'm not normally here on a
Good, good.
Wednesday, so hello
No?
everybody, and thank you for tuning in live and on the replay. Uh,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
and hey, and
Coach
we have
Karen,
Coach Karen coming right on cue. Coach, you ready? I'm pulling you in.
Okay.
good
Hey,
Hey, so
morning.
ladies.
we're
Okay.
continuing on with the CEO life, and we're gonna let you take it away if you're ready.
Give me a second, ladies. Give me 1 second.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Well,
and while she's gathering
yeah.
together, Terry, I just sent you something.
Okay.
I know
Mhm.
Coach Karen is talking about building the CEO life,
Mhm.
and I was thinking, well, how do I
How do you
actually
do
get
that?
started doing that? And it
Mhm.
says, becoming a CEO in your thinking starts with how you see yourself and how you make decisions. And I have a framework. So,
Uh-huh.
Coach Karen, you can take off anywhere you want with this. One, take ownership. Act like everything in your life is your responsibility. I was
Yes,
like,
it is.
mhm. No blaming, no excuses. CEOs don't wait, they lead.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They
Uh,
sure do. Even when they're not leading, there's a lot of people at the bottom of them that's doing stuff, but
Mhm.
you take whatever problems are happening and you turn them into the solution. And that's how you truly lead. Sometimes we think we need to come up with a whole bunch of things, and that's great too. But lots of times what's happening in your life make you become the best CEO possible because you're learning, you're coming from the ground up, you're taking what feels like a negative and turning it into a positive, right? So
yes.
and then you come out
Uh,
shiny, you're looking great about it. People are seeing that you're doing some great stuff. Most CEOs, I mean, that's what, if you're going, that's where you're going towards, right? But when you start up, you don't see yourself as such, but you really are. You really are. Because the whole work, the whole job, like I had um, a client who is running things, and he's not really running everything, but he had to behave as though he's running everything. In other words, right? He just had to do it. As the stuff happens, he just deal with it. And then once he go back and started looking at all the problems he had solved, he's like, wow, I did that.
yeah.
Terry.
You are muted.
Sorry. I'm going to leave you two ladies to it. I am expecting a visitor. So I've got to run, but I love you and I'll tune in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes you're put into a CEO position, even when you don't think you're ready.
Yes, yes. And that's the best time. Like I always say to people, when you're broke, it is the best time of your life. I know you don't think it is. Everybody hates when I say this, but it's the best time of your life because you've got a chance to A, reinvent yourself, and B, start over if you want to, or just dust some things off and do them and come out with this brand new person. And as we're talking about the CEO life, right? How we're building it, like what's happening to it. We talk about building a schedule that support your needs, and you need a schedule. I'm going to briefly go over that because that is so important. And a schedule, people think about rigidness. Schedule rigidness is important when you're starting out, because if you're all over the place, you really feel like you're scattered and you can't make it. And so
Mhm.
you need a schedule, and whatever that looks like. I know I'm an early bird person, but if you're not, you're going to have to figure out how to become, because there's nothing like early mornings, Fran. You know this. Early mornings do something for you. And if you're going to live the CEO life, you're going to have to get up early. I'm sorry to tell you. And and I don't have to tell you anything. If you don't want to go to bed early, it's fine. But here's what happened over time. You get less and less sleep. You're more tired and you can't function as well the next day. So this is what's going to push you to do. Like, you nobody have to tell you, going to push you to see that you got to get more rest. And then be truthful. Does your body need 6 hours or 7 or 8 hours? Whatever you know you need, give it to you. Even if it's 9, do not listen to anybody. If your body is saying, I need 8 hours, like I know I need like 7, 7.5. I don't need a full 8. But there's times when I get a full 8 or 9 and I feel extra rested. But if I go over that time, my body literally wakes me up and I can't go back to sleep, because it's like, you had enough, if not, it becomes a
Right.
lazy day, right?
Right. I know that if you push past that point where the body said get up, you're going to be groggy
Yes.
when you do get up. You'll be like, oh, what is happening? Because you didn't get up
Yes.
when it was the time to get up.
Yeah, you get sleepy, you don't want to do it. And then you have to overcome the pullback into old roles. This is the big part about CEO. Like, once you understand it, and here's how you don't get pulled back. Let me give you a quick tip. If you write your role thoroughly, you're going to scribble it, you're going to bug it down. The role is going to look crazy. But once you start streamlining that role, and now we got Chat GPT, whatever, you can go in and get them to streamline it for you if you're not sure how to do it. But you still have to come up with the great stuff. This in all doesn't help you when you can't come up with great stuff. You're gonna get whatever you give it. So you have to figure out, and this is from what's coming from you, right? So you know what your role is, and then you're gonna pass it on. Nobody's gonna do it 100% as you. So you're looking for an 80, 90% person. When they go above and beyond, support them, reward them, encourage them. But rarely that's what you're looking for. Because when you start looking for the 80, 90%, even 70, sometimes if the personality is great, you're going to get a good candidate that's going to take over the role, and you don't feel like you have to get back into the role.
I think that's pretty good. So building a team or building a person, maybe not a whole team, but a person that you can rely on to help you in one of the many roles. You remember that commercial? I think it was, I don't know if it was UPS or not UPS. Anyway, there was a commercial and the phone rang and the guy said, they wanted to talk to somebody in customer service. He said, one moment, and he put on another hat and said, hi, this is customer service.
Yeah.
And he was playing all the roles in the company.
Yes. And I tell people, you got to play those roles. When I first started my cleaning company, I would be Elizabeth when I'm answering the phone, and Caren that going to give the estimate. What are my names? But I just decided that Elizabeth's going to answer the phone so that they can say, well, I talked to Elizabeth yesterday and she told me X, Y, and Z. And I'm able to say, okay, so the notes that Elizabeth forwarded to me, this is what it said. And then there's this confirmation. Nobody's arguing anymore because I'd written it down and they didn't. They think they said it and they did not say it. And it's me, so I know they didn't say it.
But that is a really good strategy so that you are not persuaded by a customer or client trying to do some things. You have Elizabeth. Then there's you. And let somebody else. Okay, let me let the customer service team help you with that, knowing that you're the one that's going to be answering the email.
And this is important. So when you I tell people, when you've passed through those roles, I had a lady said, I just want to run a cleaning company and I don't want to be any part of it. And I said to her, wrong company. I don't know what you want to do, but you don't have to clean a lot, but you have to get in there and understand when a stain is in a certain type of material, it can't come out. They need a new countertop. they put a pot, depending on the countertop, they might have to replace the countertop. And you can't promise that you're going to fix it because you don't know how, because there's no chemicals to fix this specific thing. So you got to get in there and learn. And I know you can just learn with books, but I tell you, hands-on is going to help you. Whatever you do, and it's like, you're coaching, you got to go through the coaching. You have to coach a lot to understand how to coach people. And you have to know that sometimes you're not going to help that person today. Some people are going to be helped a year later after you finish with them. Some people's going to be helped months later. Some people's going to remember about you 5 years later. Oh my God. I now get what she was telling me. I was so mad at myself. Whatever.
Yeah. Because they may not be ready right then, and you need to be okay with them not being ready right then. Because there are times when you telling people something and it's going bounce, and it just bounce, and it didn't sink in yet. And then you still just need to be there for them. However that looks for your company, but
exactly.
they're gonna get it.
They're going to get it. That's why on my cards, I always would say, my friend used to ask me why I wouldn't put owner. On my business card, I used to just have on it whatever position I feel that I was mostly active in. So I was the marketing and sales rep. In my coaching firm, I'm the head coach. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I'm the head coach. Like, I don't have to tell you that I own Coach Naturally. I'm the head coach, and I intend to have junior coaches under me. So here we go. That's what we're doing. And so when you start understanding those things from behind, because if you didn't went to school for business and you didn't have what have you, you didn't do a lot of things, and now you're the CEO, you don't know what to do. And that's why you need those steps to back you up. Now, I've listened to countless people being interviewed, documentary and stuff. And the honest people, the people who really wanted to hear what brought them to become a CEO, they'll tell you the grunt work that they did. And now this one guy says, I had this resume. I had like 6 resumes, and now I'm at this one. So the people see this nice shiny one. Here's the other 5 that you don't want to see, because you don't want to hire that CEO. Okay, you want to hire this CEO right now. Right? So you got to think about yourself that way. That's how I was as the old CEO. Here I am at the new CEO. And stepping away once you build all the stuff I'm talking about, though. This comes the hard part. They got to step away from it because you feel people cannot do it 100% as you can. And that is so true. They can do it like you, but they're going to do it their way. And over time, they're going to do it better than you. And you want that. And you want to allow them to do that. Because if you don't, you're going to step back in every time to take over. No, I'm not saying that people can't run a one-man show their whole lives, but I tell you, you're a ball and chain. People say to me, I just want to be a solopreneur. And I get it. I understand it. But you have to understand what comes along with it. I'm not telling you shouldn't be. I'm just telling you what comes along with it. So even if you don't want employees, get yourself some contractors. Get people who would step in and still do, because people run businesses like that as well. So you could still be CEO, doing all the things if that's what you choose to do, but you got somebody who is great. And that person don't get great by popping in every now and then. That person get great with you is because they're constantly coming to you. The guy who put up the siding in your house has been putting up siding for a long time. If not, it's going to drop off. Let me tell you, the guy who came and fixed our brick on our wall there, he did it. He said it could be done in a day. But he said, I'm going to take 2 days. And here is why. Because he know what he's doing, guys. He needed this to dry. He needed this thing. He said it need 18 to 24 hours, but I'm going to give it 24 hours. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the other part of it. And then I'm going to come back the 3rd day to check to make sure that's okay. And I'm going to visit you guys 2 weeks later to make sure it's still standing. I know my husband was and he's like, why is he coming back? But he came back, which means I get a great review, which means the whole time Google keeps sending and telling me how many people has, because Google do that for you if you set it up right. How many people he got hired to do the job because of the review I left him. If I could have given more stars, I would. Him and the guys came, and when they finished, you wouldn't tell that they fixed bricks, my friend. There's no evidence that they came and did anything. The matching was great.
And see, that is so key. Somebody who knows their craft, even if they are the CEO, you have to still get in there and know what the nuances, what works. I had a nail lady. I just popped in there because I was in the neighborhood, because I didn't feel like driving all the way over to where I normally went. And she told me about another way to get the nails done by dipping them. And she told me the whole story about dipping versus doing the gel and the da-da-da. I said, okay, let's try that. She said, now you need to understand, when you get ready to take this off, it's going to take longer for you to take it off. But that's because we want to protect the nails. And you don't want somebody just going in and just doing stuff in a hurry and blah, blah, blah. Guess where I went to go to get them redone?
Right there.
Why would I try and go somewhere else? And she educated me
Yes.
right where I was.
Exactly.
I was like, oh, I'm coming back to you.
Yeah.
I will make an appointment. I will do whatever is necessary to come back to you, because not that the other people weren't friendly and whatever. She explained a process and told me why I need to do this. And she wasn't even, she said, if you go to somebody else, make sure they don't do this, make sure they don't, if they're picking up a brush and doing that, they're trying to apply acrylic. So just tell them no. I'm like, I'm not going to try and remember all that. I'm just coming back to see you.
She did such a great job marketing. When people ask me, like, how do I market, how I retain people? I was like, you're losing the human touch. That's why you're asking this question. When you get a customer, because if you ask me how to get a customer, we have a different conversation. But when you get a customer and you look after them very well, this guy was booked for the same thing with the guy who did our deck. He cannot, somebody asked me about the deck on the driveway. I'm like, he is booked for all 2026. The guy don't even do the work himself anymore. Because when he shows up with the people, he is there. He tells you it's going to take 3 days. If it takes longer, depending on the weather, he literally said to you, hey, I'm going to need to cover up my work for the next 2 days. I wouldn't visit you because this is what the weather forecast is. I'll come back. See, no, you can't book with him. He is packed. That's why when we say that we can't get work or we're not getting enough clients, it's because, and not every time, but there's so much that we miss out on when we only think about the money. And when you're the CEO, yeah, you got to think about money. You got to think about customer service. You got to think, but you got to think about the human is right at the top, guys. The human interaction is one of the best things you can do for your business. I mean, CEO, don't be too high that you can't pop in. There was this guy who's he sells his company now to some guys in the States. But those guys used to come and sit with that older guy and just talk with him. Just have conversation with him. Just book out a hotel and just spend a weekend with him. Yeah, they were buying the business. They didn't need to do that, but they understood the value in his business versus just buying the business.
Right, because they would have lost the customers he had accumulated if they didn't understand how and why he did what he did, and just come in with the, okay, and we just gonna think the customer's just gonna keep coming just because there's a new under new management or something. No.
They'll stay with you. Every time people are afraid to sell the business because customers might leave, who you're selling to is just as important as you when you had the business. This, you can't always be 100%, but you want to be 80% in the understanding of the people you have there. I've been lucky so far to have several companies that we clean for that they have sold, and they didn't change us out as the cleaner for the commercial. We came with the package, and that's how great the company is, because they didn't say, well, we don't care about the company coming in to clean. Like, I was informed months in advance that the company's being sold. Karen, this is where we're up against, but we just want you to know that they're not going to push you out. You guys are going to still be here. Okay. This is a general manager called me himself and talked to me. His boss called me and talked to me. This means the company's so good that the people who's running things behave in that manner, because how you lead at the top is what's going to happen at the bottom to you. So I'm saying all of this, guys, because it's getting there is important, but just staying there is important. You know, once your business make $1 million and you feel great at it, and you're paying out like most of it, the company's not doing really great. Just so we clear right off the bat. So there's a lot is mostly not to do with money, more than leadership, customer service issues, the way you treat your employees, You want to be able to say when you're selling your company, if this is your company, I have retained my employees for over. Most people are with me for over 35 years. You know, most people with, especially 60 or 75-year-old companies, you want to be able to say that when you're selling it. You want to say the customer has been with me until they sold their businesses. You know,
Mhm.
those are things that you get to say because you've done this work. You've showed up and you've done this work for yourself, for the company, for the people who's working for you and with you.
So there's a lot to think about as you are, you know, going into your CEO self. There's a lot, and it's going to require some auditing and sitting and talking to yourself.
Yep. And then
I
when you
like
can
what.
afford it, and then you can afford it, if you're the person that can school yourself and self learn. I had to learn this of myself. I'm a self learner, but not everybody are self learners. And so if you're not a self learner, this is the part I want to really mention quickly. You should hire a CEO and let them know the role you're playing, which means you have to research to get the kind of CEO that's willing to teach you. There's different types. There's the ones who come in and just run your company. There's the one you build yourself up to, and there's the one who come in and teach, mentor. If that's what you need to do that. I once listened to this guy that it's not, I don't see him around anymore, but he'd owned a company, he's a Bahamian, and he owned a company and he had to employ, he wanted to sell the company. And a good friend of him said, of him said to him, "You need to hire a CEO." And he said, "Why would I hire a CEO? Like me, I've been running this company, me and my wife." He goes, "No, you've been running the company. And mind you, you've been good, but you're not very good at it. Nobody else is going to tell you. So I'm going to tell you, you need to hire somebody who can teach you what you don't know. And you're not a self learner. I know you think you are." And he said, "I went away with a gut punch, mad, upset, told my wife, this guy don't know nothing." And she said, "Ah, that's why I like him. He knows a lot of things that you don't know." Because she probably been telling him what he will listen. And he said he was so mad, but he decided to, hire, and somebody recommended this guy younger than him. And when the guy came in and tell him all that he has to do, he was pissed. He was pissed. The guy gave him like about 5 to 7 sheets of paper to read and to look at and then get back to him. And he said he was so upset. But he said he could see all the things, and some of the things I mentioned here today, the roles that he was slacking off with, that he didn't pay attention with when he was growing and moving, all the things that he let fall by the wayside, and he overcompensate in different ways. So the company, if it was sold, he said at that time, he probably could have sold it for at least 2 or 3 million. He said, "Guys, the CEO came on board and it took 3 years. Yes, you guys not going to like to hear it. It took 3 years of helping me recognize, understand, and prepare the company to be sold." This company was sold for over 14 million after 3 years, from $3 million. Because the CEO guy came in and said to him, "I'm going to sell your company for more than 10 million, but you're going to have to be with me for about 3 years. It's going to take that long, because the first year you're going to fight me on everything. You're not going to like me at all. I understand. I'm prepared. I'm going to walk away and have to come back several times. I get it. But once you accept where we're going and you're settling, and so you're going to buckle in for the next 2 years. Now, even if you get everything right in the first 6 months, it's still going to take us 3 years, because we're going to need an extra 6 months to do some other things." And he said he did buckle in less than a year, but it did take 3 years and some. But a company was sold to good people. The second thing the guy said to him, one of the big things that he said he had to ponder, he said, "I want you to go away and figure out what compensation you want to give to the people that's been with you forever and build with you. Not what the company going to give them, what are you going to give them? So that if they want to walk away and don't stay for the new company, that they feel great, that they had a great boss." He said those are things he thought about, but not to that detailed, right? And some other things, he said, "I'm not going to mention." And so he said he felt so great when he sold that company, and that he started another company, because a lot of people do that. They sell a company, start another company for one reason or another, get tired of things too. But the
Mm-hmm.
new company is run so much better and so much simpler. And the interviewer said to him, he said, "So I'm to the CEO." He says, "He's my friend right now. Like we hang and he's part of my company in a different role, of course, but he's part of the company." And when he sold the company, he ended up staying on for about 2.5 years, getting the company to where the new CEO wanted to see it go, but they kept him on as a consultant base. And so they gradually get all the customers to just trust the new company and be there. So, guys, when I tell you these things take time, everything that you hear you need to run fast and do, I want you to slow it down. I want you to slow down because human beings do not run fast. I don't care what nobody tells you. The brain needs time on whatever topic you're developing. It needs time. It needs you to understand that it has to get that time. And when you don't give it that time, you miss out on a whole lot of things. And if you're going to be a great CEO, you're going to want to pay attention to that.
Mm, that is good. Slowing down. Yeah, I've seen people rush through stuff, rush through a decision, half look at a proposal. Oh yeah, okay, let's go, let's do it, let's do it. Wait a minute, what is they in that last paragraph that you're giving up something? Wait, we need to, yeah, slow it down.
You got to slow it down.
Wow.
You got to slow it down. When you're buying a house, you're buying a car, if they're in a hurry, tell them I'll come back. Can I come back? Can I take the papers with me? Whatever you're doing and you don't understand, get somebody to have a second look at it. Remember once I was going to buy a company and I had my accountant look at it and he says, "Karen, no way." Like, no way. It took us 2 days. He went through it. He says, "No way." Makes no sense. Even the financials were terrible. But the guy didn't know that because he didn't have his accountant look at it. If not, he wouldn't present that to me. You
This
know
is
what I
really
mean?
good.
Yeah. So you want to slow down. You want to pay attention. Just as Fran is saying, you want to read those things. You want to understand things that you don't know. And even if you know, allow your eyes to see something that you don't know within the thing that you know.
Wow. I think people need to come back here and tune in with Coach Karen every Wednesday. This is some really good stuff because you want to bring profits in. Everybody wants to get paid.
Yes.
And, how you get paid is really, really important so that you can continue to get paid. You want to set
Exactly.
things up correctly the first time so you don't have to go back and redo it. And
Yes.
today we learned that we might need a CEO mentor. We might need somebody to help us, and we might
Yeah.
need to just be quiet and let them help us.
Help you get it set up right. You'd be surprised at how great things could be, how things can run. Because, friend, one of the big things that people do is start a company, but not sure how to organize and run it. And then
That
they say
part.
things are not working. So we just have to admit that the book I read, even though it was entertaining and it had a lot of good points, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to do with it that I just got. I remember I was in college and I had this professor who came in, excuse me, he was a summer professor. And I loved him so much because he took a lot of the practicality and broke it down because I'd ask him, he says, "Yes, Karen, like if I teach and you can't use it when you get in the real world, it's like useless." But a lot of
Right.
professors do not do that. He's like one of the gems that he just came for the summer. I told him, I said, "Why aren't they hiring you all year?"
So, you can reach out to Coach Karen if you need some help. Seriously. She'll be happy to connect with you, tell you, some things, what you need to do. I think we have a link for her, your calendar.
Yes, I'm calendar Lee.
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to need to, let me see if I can find that. Or Karen, if you put it in the private chat. Oh, wait, I found it. Never
Okay. I was
mind.
just going to grab it. Good.
Yeah, I don't want to put it on the ticker though, because
Yes.
the
Yeah,
ticker
that's
is
okay.
too long. I
Yes.
am going to do something else with this. Oh, that's what I need to do. So I'm going to highlight this, and then you can also um, contact us,
Yeah.
and we will make it happen. We'll get you connected with Coach Karen. You can go to her Facebook page I believe she's on the Instagram too. And okay, so you have no excuses. You can reach out wherever she's at online and get in here and get some help. She's happy to help. Like all of our biz chicks, always happy to
Always
help.
up. Yeah.
And I think that works better. That is still very long. So I'm gonna get that fixed so that we can have a shortened one for you. But connect with us, put a link in the chat. You know what I'll do? I'm gonna put this in the description of the YouTube video. And that way you can just click on it. It'll take you
Yes.
right there.
Exactly.
Get some help. Talk to somebody. Do I need a CEO mentor right now? Ask some questions and talk with a human, somebody that gets you, that can see you and feel your vibe. That's what you want to do. And that's Coach Caren. She will help you get ready to get ready. You might need to, okay, wait, baby steps.
Yes. That's it right there, right there.
Right. And if you'd like to become a part of the Biz Chicks community, you can do that too. You can go to text biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net and join our community. That is the free community. You get a little PDF on, just a little PDF. We think is going to help you a whole lot. Whatever you do, we just want to say thank you for connecting with us. And this Wednesday is a great day for you to get started on your CEO life. Come back next Wednesday for the next installment so that you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. And we will see you next time. And I'm going to let Brittany take us out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.